show business.
Hi, I'm Usher Mage 422 on League. I got a question for everybody. Who needs a map?
Who doesn't need a map?
I do.
Hello. I'd like to ask, how do you feel about your champions getting nerfed?
I wouldn't know. Both of my champs are OP.
Like his beard.
Typically, how Shaco's nerfed pretty much, and then how Riven got that HP regen nerfed like a couple months ago.
I'm so sad. I feel like my glory days are over.
Thanks. Shaco is still OP in Korea, though. Oh.
Hi, I'd like to hear Draven do Rivet.
My hands are stained.
Alright, first of all, I want to say, Riven, I love you. That's what I want to say.
Well, I think it's all of us.
Oh, okay. Then we all love you.
Thanks.
So recently, Riot put a video on YouTube of them doing the Harlem Shake, and I was wondering if you guys were a part of it. And is that what you guys do when the server's down?
I wasn't a part of that, unfortunately. But I do like a good Harlem Shake every now and then.
Can Draven do an impression of Timo?
I'd have to know Timo. I don't remember any of his lines.
He says,
Yordle, right?
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, let's get this Timo.
So this is mostly to Christina. I need to settle this because I play Riven and she's my favorite champion all time. Battle Bunny Riven or what should I say? Redeemed Riven.
I personally use Championship Riven.
This is the right choice.
Hi, I'm Sushi Killer from 16bitsirets.com, and I was wondering, for somebody who is interested in the game very passively and doesn't know that much about it, what would you say to convince them that they should definitely check it out?
Ooh.
That sort of applies to some of us who don't really know anything about the game. I'd say go to one of these events and hang out with people that play it, and they seem to enjoy it.
So passionate about it, yeah.
Yeah. What a terrible answer.
I met a woman at a party once who she found out I was Twisted Fate. I didn't know how to play, and if I took her out, she'd teach me how to play. So that's another option. Do what you can. Do what you can.
Work.
And attack onto that too. Like Christina playing with her friends is a good thing. So get everyone together in a room so you can all hate each other mutually. That's usually pretty good. Sorry.
If you guys could kill Timo, how would you?
I'm glad Timo's voice actor is here. That'd be a disaster if he was here.
I'd use axes.
I don't know how to use it. Humanely, I don't know.
For somebody trying to break into the voice acting business, what advice can you offer?
Take classes.
Classes. And
Practice.
perseverance.
I would say for me, one of the things when I encounter people who want to get into voice acting, one of the things, there's a kind of a misunderstanding about what it is. And you can do a lot of video games and animation, but there's also a lot of stuff that's incredibly boring to do, but you're paid well for it. So you kind of have to, like I was just telling them did this job the other day, it was a tech thing. I don't know what I was talking about, but I had to make it sound interesting. So that's one of the things, you have to practice the boring stuff as well, because that does pay the bills as well.
Yeah, in fact, sorry to cut you off, but if you want a shot at some of the bigger video games and the bigger sort of, high-profile gigs, you're going to have to get a talent agent, and all talent agents are going to want a commercial reel, a narration reel, the boring, the nuts and bolts stuff of voiceover. Sorry.
But most importantly, I would say, because there's a lot of people out there really willing to take your money and not give you good stuff back. Find a reputable teacher in your area, and there are some. My first experience, I had a teacher that I kept saying, I think I'm ready to make a demo and get an agent. She kept saying, take another class. And some of these classes are very expensive, so just make sure to research the person, but there are great people out there.
And and I think I recall a story you were telling us too about how some of the teachers can also be very eccentric.
Oh yeah. Well, they're actors themselves, and actors are freaking crazy.
We're all insane, by the way. If you haven't caught on.
Together.
All right, it's already been known that Christina is a big fan of Lux. What's everybody else's favorite champions?
Draven across the board.
I like Ragus. Okay.
Okay, there's been a lot of speculation on the League of Legends forum boards and on LOL King that Ezreal's gay. Can you confirm or deny that? What? The last thing I heard that he wasn't... Clarify the character.
Wasn't... I heard that he wasn't gay so much that he just looks like Meg Ryan.
He is a bit of a lady boy.
Oh my. I don't know. I have not heard that before.
I mean, I can't imagine what kind of mess we'd be in if we had terrorist waste out here done. That's just another can of worms.
I'm not sure what we're talking about now.
I didn't say that, Kyle. He did.
This is a question for Melissa about The Walking Dead. Will Clementine be in the second video game?
I think we're getting into a hairy area here, though.
No, I honestly, I can't spoil anything because I don't know. I know there's a lot of people that would be pretty upset if she were to just poof, disappear and never come back, including myself. But I really don't know.
That's
I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. What happens in season 2?
None of us know.
Any of us could be alive.
I don't think Telltale Games even knows at this point. So, yeah, of course.
I might make it out of that alley.
You might.
Maybe.
Well, the game I played, you're in the house.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Or the house.
Yeah. But that's the question I get asked the most is who's going to be in the second season? How far along is it? And people have speculated like they're going to jump ahead 10 years when Clem's older.
I don't think they're going to do that.
Telltale tells us nothing. Nothing. Specifically to keep us from being like, oh, this is what happens in season 2.
Well.
And a spin-off show. Miami Vice State.
Hi, Anthony Garnis from MissionStarPodcast.com. This is more of a thank you to Kyle and Christina. I was one of the people at home sitting and watching the stream of the Evo donation drive for Skullgirls, and it was really hype. Like I never expected to be that hype, especially for the donation drive. But just between Skullgirls and Smash going back and forth, it was really awesome. And I gave as much money as I could.
Thank you so much. And just a little context behind that, there was a donation drive for the 8th game to get into EVO, and there were like 7 games, and basically the competition was between Skullgirls, which is the game I worked on, and Smash Brothers Melee. And what ended up happening was an amazing kind of bidding war, and it ended with Skullgirls raising $78,000 for charity, and Smash raised, I believe they raised $93,000. So it was intense.
That also amazing, of course.
What do you guys think about Mordicai in Brazil?
Wait. I'm huge in Brazil.
Hi, my name is David, and what I was wondering was what were your first impressions on when you were voice acting your very first champions? What were your first impressions on that?
Well, I did Twisted Fate first, and that was all they had was just a picture of him with the tilted hat, and I basically sat and thought about what I was going to audition with, and I basically tried to imitate Sam Elliott when he was in The Big Lebowski. Darkness washed over the dude, and just kind of, and went from there. And they really kind of, once we got into the studio, they kind of pushed and pulled and helped me make the character. And that one was, again, just working from a photograph. And then later I went back and when I did Victor, they had animation for me to match. And that really helped figure out the character.
Yeah, that's a different process with Riot, especially in my experience with like working on Champions, is that they do always have some sort of animation that they need you to match and put a voice to, which is not always the case.
And often a couple examples of characters they don't necessarily want you to mimic, but would like you to use as an influence. Like, you know, obviously Shaco, I'd like to call him in homage to Mark Hamill's Joker rather than a straight up copy.
To better answer the question, I think like we do a lot of we do a lot of like smaller games, and some of them are the kind of like RTS games where they have like 5 lines and you have no idea what they actually do. And so all we have is a picture and like a short script of stuff, and so we didn't know what the gameplay. I don't think any of us actually knew what the gameplay was like until we saw it in action, and then we were like, oh, it's all right. Now it's a battle arena. I see. All right, it's different than like an RTS where you're sending somebody out to go get killed.
Or you're sending yourself out to go get killed.
Hi, I'm Blaine Mudkip, and most of the champions have lines that reference other works of art. Do you make up those references, or does Riot give you those references?
We're not that smart.
The references went over all of our heads.
You can't say it. It's not written
Well, how, just for simple sake, the over 9,000 line, was that scripted or was that completely?
Over 9,000 was scripted.
Oh.
But that didn't come till the Pulsefire version of it. So like, a year or whatever later, 2 years later, they decided to do that, and that was after from the first session where I did Ezreal, and they found out like, oh, you did Dragon Ball Z? That's awesome. What character? Like Gohan. Like, awesome. And then little did they know that I was just channeling Gohan as Ezreal. That's my teenage voice. I mean, when we see the audition sides, we're given very little information, just little bullet points, like, here's a picture of what he looks like, here's his age, here's his attitude or his disposition, here's what he's doing, and then we just piece it together like a jigsaw puzzle, and we have to like do it on the fly and have good improv, good cold reading, and all that. But actually the scripting and the references, that all came pre-done.
Next time on League of Legends.
If only.
Hi, so my name is Bloodmate0 on League. So, like back to what you just said, how you guys don't get much choice in the scripting. Like you guys put a lot of consideration in this, but how does making the laugh of the champion actually work out?
Making a
Let's hand it to these guys.
You would think? Well, I mean, it all depends on the character. If you've got a big, heavy, tanky bruiser, you kind of want to give him a Mord. And if you've got a sneaky little jungling shake-up, you want to get up here.
Who is your favorite player on TSM?
Oh boy.
Everybody says Dyrus, but I like Reggie. I even like him more since I saw the video of him running away from
Why
Christina.
Reggie? You know what? In Reggie's defense, in IPL 5, he gave me a high five.
It probably took him a week to work up the courage. Just kidding, Reggie.
Well, besides TSM, do you have any favorite pro players or any memorable moments with the pro teams?
I talk to Saint sometimes. He's interesting.
Eric and I actually talk a lot to Brad Pluto, who I know isn't a pro player, but I mean he might as well be. He's the mascot of Curse, so we kind of have a little relationship with the Curse guys.
You have to remember too, when we're like an IPL or something, they're the stars. They're the guys that everybody's like, "Can I get your autograph?" The voice actor guy, "Hey, what's up?" I mean, and that's fine. I mean, it's cool because we're like, "Oh wow, check it out! These guys are superstars." And I mean, we got to know some of the guys in Curse and TSM. And I don't know, Fnatic Ray Call's pretty good.
Dyrus' dad is awesome, by the way.
Yeah, dude, Dyrus!
I got a picture of the two of them together with the epic beard.
I'm a fan of the Snooper stare. He's fun.
Which, by the way, is Eric next to Dyrus' dad. I think the only time your beard's ever lost.
Okay, hello, this question is directed toward Christine. So, like, I've seen, like, Christina, sorry. I'm incapable of reading too. Anyway, so I've seen you done, like, other works, like Blaze Blue, Familiar Zero, and, like, Madoka, etc. Can we hear your voice, like, famous lines from those series? And can we hear you use your Riven voice to deliver famous lines from those series?
Well,
that's a lot.
We'll make this one quick as we're wrapping up. Just a Riven voice and a Madoka line. How about that?
Okay, here's the thing about Madoka and Riven. My Homer voice, I got that from Riven. Because she really talks like this. And that's Riven. What would you want me to do though? Familiar Zero? Saito, you stupid dog.
Alright, we'll do 2 more.
Do any of you have a league champion crush?
What?
Ooh, crushes.
Draven.
This is the favorite one. Draven across the board.
Hey, I posted to Eric. Has someone told you you look like Ragus?
I've heard that I am the real life Ragus, and somebody actually requested a skin of me for Draven or something like that. So I've heard it a couple times.
Alright, the last one.
So for those of you who actually do play as often, what is your favorite weapon and why? Or item?
Favorite item in the game.
Favorite item?
The answer better be wards.
Favorite item? Hex drinker. I don't know.
Alright, like one more.
Eric, is your beard made out of Draven's axes?
It's so OP.
Cool, so let's I think we're mostly done. Let's go down the line. Everyone can plug their Facebooks, their Twitters, their things.
Yay. All right. Well, I'm at Kyle Hebert. Spelling the last name is Hebert, not Herbert. It looks like Hebert. So at Kyle Hebert. Facebook.com/Kyle Hebert. Put a VO on the end of that. That's my page. And then KyleHebert.com is my website. Yay. Thank you.
Christina V, at Christina V is my Twitter. No H in Christina, no space. And on Facebook, I have my regular page, but that's been full for like 2 years. But I also have a fan page that you can add me on to. So Christina, that's my name.
I am horrible at Twitter, so I apologize if you ever try to. I say nothing. It's at Melly Hutch, MELYHUTCH. What? That's what I said. And Facebook, Melissa Hutchison VO, and it's Hutch is son, no N in there. And I also Instagram a lot. I find I like doing pictures more than words, and that's also Melly Hutch. That's how you can find me. Pass it down.
All right. I'm Gavin Hammond, and I'm pretty much on all the stuff. Twitter and the Facebook has a VO at the end. I'm on Instagram. My website's gavinhammond.com. It's boring. You should go there anyway. Be bored. Yeah.
MelissaHutchison.com.
Yeah. ChristinaV.com is not my website, but you should go to that one. MelissaHutchison.com is not my website, but you should go to that one too.
My website is owenthomas.org because .com was taken, but somebody wanted to post crossword puzzles. And my Facebook is Owen Voice. My YouTube is Owen Actor, and my what's that thing? Oh, Twitter. My Twitter is at Owen Voice as well.
I'm pretty much Harrington VO across the board, but I mostly plug my YouTube. I've got a whole section of League of Legends videos.
1 million.
Yeah, just hit 1 million views, which I know for some people isn't a big deal. It's a big deal for me. But you'll find a ton of League of Legends centric videos that I put together with a lot of my friends helping out. So please go there, subscribe, like the videos, and then you'll get links to all of their channels through my channel. Harrington VO. I am, let's see, YouTube, Mota Jones, MOTAJONES, all one word, and then Twitter, that's @Mota Jones. And I have a fan page at Eric Braun on Facebook, so.
And we also,
we're forgetting one.
Yeah, IPL, we did a few interviews on these guys too, so youtube.com/IPLLOL, twitch.tv/IPLLOL, we do tournaments, we have some of these guys like to come out on occasion. Also at IGPro on Twitter, myself @HatPerson, and you know what? This is a good panel.
Let's have a good day. Let's hear for HatPerson, guys. AJ's the man.
And we gotta end on a high note too. Can we get everybody screaming Demacia on 3? You ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you.